This thing turned out to be that.
Those were up, and they did.
We're smart, and my...
He told me enough.
No, I.
Here's Chuck.
Hey everyone, it's Don G. Corleone here, and I am here with a brand new movie review. Not movie review, I mean rant. And this rant is going to be for the installment of a new action series that I am reviewing. I just reviewed the first two. And now we're on to the third installment of this series. And it's anything but a good one. It was the day the series turned to shit. And it went the ROBOCOP 3 route by going to PG-13. And this review is going to be for none other than 2014's The Expendables 3. Oh my god, I hate this fucking movie. What's the plot? Well, Barney, Christmas, and the rest of the team come face to face with Conrad Stonebanks, who years ago co-founded Expendables with Barney. Stonebanks subsequently became a ruthless arms trader and someone who Barney was forced to kill. Or so he thought, and Stonebanks, who eluded death once before, now is making his mission to end the Expendables, but Barney has other plans. Barney decides he has to fight old blood with new blood, and brings in a new era of Expendables team members, recruiting individuals who are younger, faster, and more tech-savvy. And the latest mission becomes a clash of classic old-school style versus high-tech expertise in Expendables' most personal battle yet. How is this made? Well, in March 2012, cast member Randy Couture said a third entry of The Expendables would begin production in late 2012 after the release of 2. In April 2012, Steven Seagal said he was offered a role in the third film. He was not in it. In August 2012, producer Avi Lower confirmed that Nick Cage would be signed for the then potential sequel. That didn't happen either. He said the producers intended to bring back the series of stars, attempting to have Mickey Rourke reprise his role, and approached Clint Eastwood, Harrison Ford, and Wesley Snipes to play new roles. Stallone was even said they were thinking about adding different concepts, and the third one was the hardest, the second was the natural progression, the third, that's when the air got rare. They were thinking ambitiously about it, and they have to give audiences something they don't expect at all, and even going into a different genre. Then in August, Chuck Norris said he would not return for a sequel. In August 2012, Jean-Claude Van Damme indicated Stallone might include in The Expendables 3 as Claude Vallan, brother of John Vallan. Then in October 2012, it was now confirmed that New Image and Millennium Films are in the process of pre-selling international distribution rights for the third film. Then in December 2012, it was reported Jackie Chan agreed to join the sequel on condition that he would have more than a minor role. But then Chan dropped out of the project because of scheduling conflicts. Then in March 2013, Stallone confirmed he was writing a script for the sequel and that he intended the film to be more humorous with moments of drama. Stallone also said that Seagal would not be in the film, thank God, and he wanted to cast more young actors in their mid-20s. Then in April 2013, Stallone announced that Patrick Hughes would direct the sequel. Then in May 2013, Chan, Snipes, Cage, and Mila Jovovich were announced to be in advanced negotiations to join the film. June 2013, Lionsgate announced that the film would be released on August 15, 2014. Then in July 2013, it was confirmed that Then it was important that actor Mel Gibson would trade the film's villain. Later that month, Stallone confirmed Gibson's involvement. Then in July, actor Kellen Lutz and professional fighters Victor Oritz and Ronda Rousey were added to the cast. It was revealed the film would feature several younger, technology-oriented action heroes who would clash with the veteran Expendables. In August 2013, Ford, Banderas, and Glenn Powell joined the cast, and Bruce Willis would not be reprised as well as Church. Willis' lack of involvement was cited as a disagreement over money, with production sources indicating that Willis was offered $3 million for 4 days of shooting in Bulgaria, but he wanted $4 million. And on September 17, 2013, Kelsey Grammer was announced to be in negotiations to join the film. And Harrison Ford's character, by the way, guys, actually replaces Willis's character. And the film premiered in London on August 4th, 2014. After the film was officially shot and marketed, and sadly slapped the PG-13 rating, The Expendables 3 would go out to premiere in London on August 4th, 2014, and was released theatrically in the United States into theaters on August 15th, 2014 by Lionsgate. And like the first two films in the franchise, which were rated R, The Expendables 3 got the PG-13 rating, and that pissed off so many fans of the franchise. And because of all the negative critical reviews, and apparently because it was leaked 3 weeks before its scheduled release, maybe it got leaked 3 weeks before coming out in theaters to save people from wasting their money on it. Ever thought of that? Ever thought maybe this person didn't want people to waste their money, to waste $20 of their money, or waste 2 hours of their life seeing a third PG-13 rated third entry of an R-rated action franchise? Maybe that's why. It ended up grossing only $214 million worldwide on an estimated $90 to $100 million budget, and it became the lowest grossing film of the series so far. And a fourth film is going to be released next week. As for my reaction, well, when I heard of this film and saw the teaser back when I was in 10th grade, I was excited because it was the year I finally started watching this series, and I was hyped to see this film. But then, as the marketing progressed, I later found out the movie was going to be PG-13 instead of an R rating, and I started losing hype. And when the movie came out and got negative reaction and barely made much profit, I chose not to watch it. I never had until yesterday. Yesterday night, I watched this movie, and holy crap! This film was so fucking awful! I'm glad to have not saw it when it came out, because this film was expendably bad. No pun intended. The action was expendably bad. The humor was expendably bad. Everything about this movie was expendably bad. Not badass, ass bad. One critic on the DVD cover apparently called this the best Expendables movie yet. The best Expendables movie yet? What crack did you fucking smoke, whoever wrote that? Whoever thinks this is the best Expendables movie yet is clearly some guy who just smoked a bunch of fucking crack and didn't watch the first two. There was no entertaining action in this movie. There's way too many famous actor cameos for the fan service and the nostalgia. Way too long for an Expendables movie, just boring the whole way through. And instead of spending more time with the aging heroes we've come to love, you get stuck with a bunch of whiny, dumb youngster idiots who don't do anything and they're not interesting. I even doubt the so-called broader audience the film is aiming at are going to even care about it. And the people who are interested in the series would not care about this either. They didn't even care about this when it first came out. Nobody did. Why do you think it only made $39 million domestically and it bombed? Because, of course, they wanted more family-friendly audiences to go see this movie, and it backfired horribly. They did the same shit with ROBOCOP. ROBOCOP 1 and 2 are R-rated. Parents are like, that sucks. We want a PG-13 ROBOCOP. Our kids love the character. We don't want an R-rated ROBOCOP anymore. And so these dumb parents caused ROBOCOP 3 to be made, and it got bad reviews and it bombed. Fuck ROBOCOP 3. The movie should have been called ROBOCOP 3. And then you have Batman Returns had the same issue. It's too dark and violent for kids. Oh no. And the same parents that probably didn't even read a Batman comic. Guess what? 1995, the next Batman movie, Batman Forever, well, okay, that didn't really damage the series per se, but it didn't get the best reactions. What really did, though, was the Batman movie we got after Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. That really did the damaging, and that really pissed off the fans, and it caused them to actually start doing no more family-friendly Batman movies. Well, that probably is going to be until James Gunn's Batman movie comes out, which I bet is probably going to have the same tone as Batman and Robin, because Gunn doesn't. And don't go mentioning Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in the comments at this part, right? Don't go mentioning Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was serious. Don't go mentioning that in the comments to try to prove me an idiot. Back to this movie though. Expendables 3 was just so ridiculous, it made me bored. Just a bunch of grumpy old men talking how tough when they look like they should be spending their days over recliner watching TV. Hey guys, when you get this decree, it's time to hit up the camos. Some young unknown actors couldn't act their way out of a paper bag. They have two looks, mad and really mad. And some new additions to the cast are not bad. The only good new additions were Antonio Banderas, Wesley Snipes, Harrison Ford, Kelsey Grammer, Mel Gibson, and honestly, Mel Gibson is the only one that actually owns this movie. And the movie just dies if he's never around on screen. How's the action in this movie? Well, instead of, remember all the focus and over-the-top action sequences of the first two? Well, instead of that, we get bland MTV-style kills because of the PG-13 rating. We thought giving this film this lame rating was a good idea. Nobody but the producers, and probably Sly to some extent. Hey, let's take a series that's aimed at adults, starring aging action heroes who only the older audience will remember, and turn to a dumb teen movie where the target audience will not care who they are or what they've done. And one of the worst business decisions in recent memory. Newcomer and director Patrick Hughes did not do anything with this film. And it's really hard to tell if that's intentional or the PG-13 hack job done to the film made it bland. And that is what it ruined for the most part of this third installment of a franchise. That clearly had no plan of doing any more to the first one. And Sly could still write crappy lines and still have the fun for it. So for the first couple of action scenes that are amusing, they're what makes the Expendables so much dang fun. But of course, there has to be a plot and also new cast members. Some are okay, some are absolutely terrible, but there's also Antonio Banderas, who is, of the good guys anyway, he's the most insane, incredibly fun to behold in his old, and surprisingly, Banderas is not as wasted as he is in any films he's in today. The original cast, yeah, they're still there. Kind of there anyways, except they don't even play that big of a role. In fact, you could cut them out and the movie wouldn't mean a thing. Especially Terry Crews, who gets severely injured in the beginning of the film, and red flags were raised when it's announced that this third Expendables film would be given a PG-13 because the kids would not have to sneak in to see the film in cinemas. They could enjoy watching their heroes tear up bad guys with CG muzzle flash. The action starts owning it to its next generation. After all, and of course, it has nothing to do with money, right? Well, apparently it did. And it seems to have backfired. Like, it's still... by the time Expendables 3 released, it already was a flop at the box office on its opening weekend. No kids went and saw it. No younger audiences went and saw it. Then again, this same month, we had a much better movie out, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That got more money because it was actually good and entertaining. That's what the kids were more interested in going to see. Not a film about old age action heroes. They were more interested in Marvel in that month. And some went to see the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles crap as well, because I know the Ninja Turtles crap reboot from 2014 made money at the box office. And almost dueled with Guardians. And this in spite of the fact that every decision made by the filmmakers was commercially driven and centered to water down the movie's brutality to ensure a PG-13 rating. What the hell had happened to action movies around this stage? Hell, there's much more violent movies. Captain Winter Soldier was more violent than Expendables 3. John Wick was more violent than Expendables 3. Equalizer was more violent than Expendables 3. A lot of action films the same year this came out were far more violent than this. In their obsession of watering down violence, it's like they completely forgot every other aspect of the film. And these movies were made so that fans of these legends of ancient action cinema could bathe out in nostalgia, they were never going to make bucketloads of cash. The PG-13 announcement pissed off fans, and kids are going to watch it anyway because a lot of kids today aren't even familiar with actors like Sylvester Stallone or Jason Statham, or they're not familiar with these guys. They haven't even seen their older films yet. So why would they go watch this? Expendables was a franchise that was strictly made for the fans that grew up in the 80s watching all these other older action films. Not the kids today. But the plot of this film is like, the movie follows the Expendables on a mission, discover an old foe, who shoots Terry Crews. And then following this, Crews spends the rest of the film in the hospital. And you only have, then again, to replace him for Wesley Snipes' character. And we've seen the dog takes of the previous Expendables, and the fact that they're called the Expendables. Hell, see, they're getting shot in the ass, prompts Barney to just disband the team. We're shutting the team down, guys. Go live your lives while you still can. And that obviously pisses off Statham's character. And he spends the next half an hour of the movie drearily recruiting new, younger, irritating, idiotic kids. It elides the main problem of the film. The Expendables we're supposed to be watching are sidelined for these younger, annoying brats who we just want to punch in the fucking face and kick in the balls. They're just so whiny, they're obnoxious, they're plain boring. One of them even literally looks like Francis from Deadpool. I don't think it's not obviously not played by that actor, but he literally looks like those Ajax lookalikes, those obnoxious looking Ajax or Francis lookalikes you'd see in any action film from the 2010s. These guys would work better as background characters, but no. The people we're paying to see get cameos, and these moron imbeciles are the main characters. And get this, guys, there's actually a scene where they actually insult the original Expendables. At one part, when the original Expendables come see this and outlash at Barney Ross for replacing them. And at that part, I just almost shut the movie off, and I was like, that's it. Fuck this movie. I'm almost done watching a shitty movie. But no, I had to watch the rest of this movie because then I wouldn't be able to make this rant. I wanted to almost shut the movie off at that point. If they bought anybody with a decent credit the last few years, or use them in a way so they weren't spouting sexist remarks, or shitty up the room every 2 minutes, maybe I'd warm up to them, like how Liam Hemsworth was used better in the second film, unlike these dumb idiots we're supposed to watch, who do nothing and get their asses captured quickly by Mel Gibson. They're just so boring and irritating. They made me root for Mel Gibson's character. I wanted Mel Gibson to kill their asses after they insulted the original team. These guys were unlikable, they're not great, they're so rude, they're annoying and rude, you just want to beat them up. The minute you're introduced to them, you just almost want them to get blasted away by one of Mel Gibson's weapons. The moment you introduce us to them, that's not a good thing. And at least Mel turned up to the film and decided he was going to act, and he definitely acts much better in this movie than any of these new poser action stars that try to be the Expendables. You could literally call this a reboot. This shouldn't even be called the Expendables 3. This should be a piss-poor attempt at a reboot. With the Expendables' previous entries, it's not like the first two films were standout examples of the action genre, but the first film had a real novelty value and sense of humor to boot, while the second film actually was an alright watch with a carefree attitude. The third film just fails to justify a reason for being, as it showed visibly by most involvement, they couldn't care less if they tried. Boasting additions to the cast included recently freed from prison Wesley Snipes. It was nice to see Wesley Snipes again. After he went to jail for taxes for 3 years, which was a really stupid reason to go to jail for 3 years for, yet creeps like Victor Sala get only 1.5 years in prison, while Wesley Snipes got 3 years for taxes. Really? Over some silly taxes? They even reference that moment in the beginning of the movie. They're like, why were they taking you in for? And Wesley Snipes' character says taxes. Just had to reference that, didn't you? the crazed drunkard Mel Gibson, the fast-talking Puss in Boots himself Antonio Banderas, and the catastrophic divorce proceedings Kelsey Grammer, you think that these are the new recruits you're going to be seeing. Snipes, Banderas, Grammer. No, it's not. It's stupid youngsters you don't like. Had it been Banderas, Grammer, and Snipes, maybe I wouldn't have minded new recruits, alright? Maybe I wouldn't have minded it. If it could have been about, like, trying to refill the team after several team members are gone, they're shortening their members, then it would have been slightly better. No. Let's get three bratty assholes. No, let's get a bunch of bratty assholes we don't like. And the Expendables 3 just tries to jam-pack proceedings with novelty factors and overcome a bored-looking return cast, but fails at what previous entries did, which was remain entertaining. Like, hell, even Sylvester Stallone himself looked depressed and bored making this. There's lots of scenes where he just sounds so bored and just sounds so done with these films. The story within this tale is so utterly pointless, because it's hard to see how it's stretched to 2 hours, but instead of the Expendables going after ex-member and now Badman Stonebanks, it's not enough to warrant the running time. There's slight moments that work throughout here, like a few nice action set pieces, staged sadly far too early, then far too late, and a few cheap one-liners that get a, like, I'm the Night Before Christmas, but with focus on too much Stallone and his new young brats, and not enough of the stars were promised in the trailer. It's like nothing more than a directed DVD affair. Whenever the focus turns the screenplay, things get hideously bad. And director Patrick Hughes can't end live-in proceedings more, but it's unquestionable that the film lacks a huge sense of pizzas, or sense of occasion from both behind the cameras and in front of it. Like, and the fact that, and this did not need to be 2 hours long. Take a look at the other Expendables movies. Let me just read this. The Expendables, the first one, 103 minutes. Same runtime for the Expendables 2, 103 minutes. Get it? This one, 126 minutes long. Wow. And it's poorly edited, because it doesn't even feel like it's 2 hours either. So someone should have fired their editor. Some scenes went overly long, many that just showed the reaction shot of a character for 10 to 15 seconds for nostalgia, when it was neither funny nor normal. Additional plot points were introduced and neither explored or returned to, and despite the franchise norm of adding as many iconic action-adventure heroes from the past and present, there's way too many characters and actors that were irrelevant and obnoxious. And it's the same old I'm getting too old for the shit storyline, which is never spoken in a movie featuring Mel Gibson, and after the last movie full of action hero catchphrases. Stallone plays leader Barney of a D-team mercenaries, spends most of the movie running around circles looking bored while trying to protect his brats from death and leading these brats into certain death. His loyalty is admirable until his questionable actions for the up-and-coming human beings, or human brats he cares a little about, is never explored. And some of the action works with the exception of the never-ending cliches of bad guys who are easily disposed of while the good guys are really scratched. In addition, some one-liners work, like I've already said, some cameos and appearances are alright, but this movie's any indication, either this just looks like a reboot. They should have called this the Expendabrats, not the Expendables 3. While in this series, we know the humor action guns and kick-ass action are homages to 80s giants, but there's none of that in here, and it gets a little more silly than it should be. Like, good guy has a chance to kill bad guy in a helicopter by Expendables, and after 1,516 rounds of ammo, they fired off, they cease firing him, their target. And good guy lets bad guy explain the whole plot to the freshman Expendabrats, and even lets him live in an obvious ripoff of the Mission Impossible series. And further, a ton of time is spent on a third character we barely even know, was shot, hospitalized, and we're supposed to care, but do we even see much of him in the movies? Should we even care then? And bad guy can not only hear all of what what the good guys are planning, but he gives them 45 seconds to survive when he could have just killed them the second chance he got. He even complains and kills another later because he's so mad that he dropped the ball. Another thing of the plot is pretty much the same as the Expendables 2. Just take out less of the action and just more boring revenge bullshit. There's the moment where Sly disavows the team and brings in all these boring brats. The Spider-Man wannabe could climb elevators. Who cares? The chick, there's no other reason for her to be in the film other than just to be this chick. Like, I don't even care about their names. I don't want to know their names. There's pretty much no reason for Stallone to continue with this mission, other than just revenge. But naturally, he continues, he gets himself in trouble with this stupidity in this movie, because Barney Ross is so stupid as fuck in this film, and honestly so unlikable. And blah, blah, blah. We get one of the most boring action sequences in history, because it's not rated R. And the quality of the movie is just awful in every aspect. The visual effects, the script, the story, the action, the acting, and even the length. For a movie this awful, more than 2 hours is a huge challenge to the viewers. It's so hard to watch. Just gives you an example. Helicopters on the movie are computer made. They look fake. The major explosion effects and so on are also computer made, and they don't bring anything to the movie. Bollywood effects, like hell. A Bollywood movie would look better than this. Way better. Oh my god, like Expendables 3 even compares perhaps to Nigerian low-budget visual effects movies. And look, think about this, guys. The Expendables 3, the plot of this idea of an old team member and Sly having to disavow the team for a bit could have been a decent premise. No. Not the way they did it. Like, if it done in the right hands, this probably could have been a decent third film and a decent finale to the series. Right? Had it been done by the right directors. Nah, instead. And it stayed rated R. Yeah, and how does this... I remember the epic finales of the first two? That's not the case here, because how did this finale go? Well, Stonebank sends Ross a video. He challenges Ross to come after him and giving him his location as Meniston. So the bad guy just gives the protagonist his location. Smart move. And preparing to leave him out and rescue alone, Ross is found by Galgo, who offers his services again. Ross accepts, accompanied by the veteran Expendables. This time, we're finally seeing the team we're supposed to be watching. They rescue the young mercenaries, only for Stonebank. He has rigged the place with explosives with only 45 seconds left for them to explode. And the young and veteran Expendables fight one another. Ross convinces them to work together to take down Stonebank. And the final battle begins. Thorne uses a jammer device to delay the countdown, giving just under half an hour for detonation. Then Stonebank orders the Meniston army to attack the building with full force, including tanks and attack helicopters. And Drummer and Trench arrive in a helicopter to help. And alongside returning Expendables member Yin Yang. Yeah, Jet Li is back, and he gets no fight scenes. None. Why? So Jet Li's back and you don't give him a fight scene. Great. How shittier could this movie get? And the new veteran members of the Expendables work together to kill Stonebanks' men. And a second wave moves in, Drummer lands on the building to evacuate the team. As everyone makes it to Drummer's chopper, Stonebanks personally attacks Ross after shooting him down, having forced to remove the armor and his weapon. Ross and Stonebanks engage in hand-to-hand combat. Both are evenly matched. Ross knocks down Stonebanks before they reach for their guns. Stonebanks shoots, but Ross gets the better of him, and as mercy, Stonebanks questions Ross about delivering him to the International Criminal Court, but Ross coldly shoots Stonebanks in response. So now he's fucking dead. And then seconds after Stonebanks' death, the batteries in Thorne's device run out, and causes the building to explode and collapse. The team makes it to Drummer's helicopter and flies away to safety, as Ross clings to it from the outside. And in the aftermath, Caesar recovers from his wounds, and Barney Ross accepts the new brats and Banderas' character into the team. No. Fuck that ending. Fuck that bullshit. You want to know what would be better ending? Ross fires the brats for insulting his friends. Can't believe Ross would actually let these guys in after these new teammates were such utter assholes that basically were rude to the original Expendables members, said they were dumb, said they were way too old, insulted them. treat them like garbage, when they were more experienced than any of these idiots. What do these brats do? Get captured easily, and do nothing. Get captured by Gibson's character. Their asses should have been killed by Gibson's character. Better ending right there. Because I don't like these idiot brats. And they celebrated a bar together. And that movie's finally over. Lame finale, lame movie, dumb sequel. It's not even badass like the Valena fight in the first, or some epic nostalgia moments. And the airport fight in Expendables 2 is better nostalgia than anything in Expendables 3. But okay, fine, there's some good to be out of it. Like, it was nice to see Wesley Snipes again after getting out of jail. And Banderas, Snipes, Ford, Grammer give the best performances. Why couldn't Antonio Banderas, Wesley Snipes, Harrison Ford, Kelsey Grammer be the new Expendables members? Why couldn't these guys be the new recruits? I mean, I'd still probably hate it, but I wouldn't have minded it more. It'd be actually actors legends are familiar with. Banderas is even less wasted in this movie than most of the films he's in live action wise today. And Mel Gibson's character steals the show. He was more interesting to watch than Sly's character or his little brats, as I call them, or the Expendabrats. And even most of the original Expendables themselves, because most of the originals are not even in the movie. You could cut them out and it wouldn't mean a thing. And it was nice seeing Jet Li return in the finale, because him just leaving the beginning of the second one was a bad quality for that film. And I will admit, Stallone even actually agreed with people that the PG-13 rating was a stupid idea. Even he regrets making this film PG-13, and even he hated this film. So honestly, I don't think this film was Stallone's fault. Even he clearly hates this movie as much as we all do. And hates the PG-13 rating too. So, yeah. While the only good quality of 4 is that it's going to be rated R, but I still have zero hype, and I think the 4 film's going to be even worse than this. Because, once again, thankfully the Expendabrats are gone in this one, and it seems like, and while Korcher and Doff are still in this one, going to be in this one, it seems like they're at the bottom of the cast, so it seems like they're going to get small-ass roles. And the most of the movie's just going to be about Stallone and Statham. And instead of Expendabrats, we're getting annoying recruits. We're getting 50 Cent, who's not even a good action hero, or seems like a good actor, and the asshole bitch Megan Fox. Yeah, an actress I've lost respect for is going to be joining the Expendables. Just most of the OGs in the first 2 are gone in this upcoming one. And I can tell how it's going to end. Barney Ross is going to obviously die at the end of the 4th film, because it's supposed to be Sylvester Stallone's last Expendables film, because the guy wants to go make more Cliffhanger 2s, more reality shows with his daughters, probably more Escape sequels, probably Rocky 7s, maybe even Rambo 6s. Hell, what's next? Demolition Man 2? A Cobra 2? Or Cobra 2s? Probably. So all in all, The Expendables 3 is crap, and you should never watch it. In the end, please avoid The Expendables 3, or as I call this movie, The Expendabrats, and stop after 2, because there is not much point in continuing this series with the quality hugely going down and the R-rated stuff not being here. So that being said, The Expendables is dead. A dead franchise that just needs to go away. No more 5s after 4. Just don't do this franchise again after 4. Never do this franchise. Anyways, that's it for my rant on Expendables 3. You're running how to rate the Expendables 3. Here's how I'm going to rate this movie. So overall, if you love the first 2 and want to see a third, please don't bother your time, because this movie is really not worth it, especially with all the R-rated gore gone in this one and being over 2 hours long. And if you're wondering how I'm going to rate the Expendables 3, I'm going to give the Expendables 3 a 3 out of 10. Ah, there we go. Finally, my rant on Expendables 3 is done. Hopefully I'll never have to watch this damn movie again. Oh wait, I mean the Expendabrats. Dear God. Yeah, if that seems bad, we're getting a fourth one. Starring Megan Fox and 50 Cent. I can bet you it'll suck even more. And hopefully, Expendables 4 bombs and this franchise can finally die. If I want good Expendables movies, I'll watch these two. Well, even to some degree, I'll watch... This one's not as good as the first one, but I'd rather watch this over whatever the hell is coming next. And this Expendables. But if I want a really, really good Expendables film, I'll watch this. I have fun with these two any day. The only two that matter in my eyes. Until then, guys, that'll be it for this review. Rant. Thank you all for watching. If you like this and want to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe to Don G. Corleone.